Yeah, so welcome to Foreigner in the Philippines. It's been a good day.
Honey, don't look now, but I think that your wig has the coronavirus.
No, this is called style.
Style?
Yeah.
It looks like you walked here through a wind tunnel.
This is called fashion. Okay? Even the dog agrees. Says, yes, it's fashion. Called fashion. The spelling is F-A-F-A. No, it's
I think this is one of those days when my brain is going to hurt.
yeah, so we have letter here. We have letter from an
A
Auckland. A letter
A
from
letter.
an Auckland. Auckland. Where is
From
Auckland?
Auckland.
Where is Auckland?
Auckland.
Auckland.
Yes.
Darling,
New Zealand.
I watched a video about a little girl teaching a Chinese what do you call that? British accent. I realized that your accent is not British. You know, like because the child says, "I want to drink a tea," like that, but you're just normal, plain. It's like you're not British. You don't have British accent. It's recorded, right? Can you teach me how to say, "I want to drink a tea" in British accent?
Honey, why can't you understand that there are many different accents
But
in
I want
the
the
UK?
come on, the British, like the one.
They're all British.
But the one, the accent.
How do I know what? I
Like
didn't hear
the
it.
child says, "I want to drink a bottle of tea," like
A
that.
bottle of... They don't do tea in bottles.
Okay. Oh, okay. I want to drink.
I was right. My brain is hurting.
I want to drink a tea, like
I
that.
want a cup of tea.
No, this is different. More.
How can I know?
I want a cup of tea.
I want a cup of tea.
No, that's still not British accent. I want a cup of tea. So now this is from Auckland. The title is Feeding. I read it in British, okay? Feeding, okay. Terence, I'm back. I am Ron from Auckland. I hope you are both safe while reading my letter. I am your silent subscribers for almost 2 years now, and last December, I chatted a Filipina. She is also your subscriber. That's called British accent, okay? I know we have health and economic crisis due to this virus, but I feel I am being used as an ATM at this moment. My GF asked me 50,000 pesos for her to survive in a month and family.
50,000 pesos in a month.
While she has no work and staying in home. I feel I'm feeding them, the whole family. What should I do?
Does he say if he's ever met this lady?
They chatted last December. No, he didn't.
So he's never met her.
Yeah. It's not been established here, but he says I chatted
Well, if he didn't
last December.
If he didn't meet her, then she's already going in very heavily at 50,000 pesos.
Yeah.
And I think the danger is that he might find himself on his first visit going also to stay the weekend with Rafi Tulfo. Don't you?
Yeah. I think if you really love that woman, right, it's real, it's not, I know maybe he used this alibi as the crisis in the Philippines and all over the world have a crisis, right, because of this virus. But I think it's if you trust her, and even though she's not telling the truth, I'm sure that whatever you send to her will go to food.
Darling,
no, don't send 50,000. Maybe you
can you run that by me again? If you love her and she asks for 50,000, even if you don't trust her, is that what you said?
Yeah, I mean, even if you don't believe,
even if you don't believe her.
Yeah, or you have some doubts on her.
Or you have some doubts, okay.
Right? It's real. It's real that especially if that woman is Manila and it's lockdown in Manila, right? You got me? Or in Cebu or other parts of every parts of Philippines now is being under community quarantine because of coronavirus, right? So whether she's telling the truth that she has no job for now because of coronavirus. The reality is the family are staying home, so might be they don't have job, right? So
Well, they
it's
won't
real
have
that
jobs.
when you send the money to the family, it goes to food, which is true, right? So, but my concern is, instead of sending 50,000, how about you send 10,000, or because that's the normal food in a month of the family with their how many of them, because a sack of rice, and instead of cooking some nice food, delicious food like chicken, adobo, pork, how about they just buy some cans, right?
Well, that's what we're
Because
doing.
because we bought we bought one box of sardines, we bought one box of corned beef, and we got noodles. But for Terence, we got chickens also. But so we love eating sardines, right?
I'm quite happy there's an emergency going on, and I don't expect
Yeah.
to live like a king.
Yeah.
But then we
So
don't live like royalty anyway, do
yeah. So if for example, a box of sardines is around a sack of rice, if it's not the white one, the expensive one, there is around 1,800 or 2,000, something like that, because
we? Well,
we
even
pay
if it,
around
even if it is the
2,100.
expensive one, it's still only 2,400.
Yeah, 2,100 for our one bag of
You
rice.
told me 2,400 when I asked you this question earlier.
No, 2,200 or 2,400. The white one, the
That's
one
what
that
I
you
said.
don't need.
Even if you do
Yeah.
the best, it's still only 2,400 for a bag.
But if you get the broken, it's 1,600 or 1,700, something like that. Yeah, so for example, a sack of rice for the whole month. For example, let's put it into the budget is 2,200. And the what do you call that? The
I don't know
noodles
that
is
one.
around 600, the box of noodles, and then a sardines is around 1,500, like that. So
And
in
then
other words,
then you've got
10,000,
coffee.
yeah, 10,000 is enough. It doesn't mean that they are in home quarantine or in their community quarantine. It doesn't mean that they eat a lot, right?
No,
And
they'll
they eat like a
less, if
queen
anything.
and king, right?
Less, if anything.
So maybe so that your relationship, if you love that woman and you think that there's a future, there's a small light that there's a future for you and her, then just send and explain that, look, you're in crisis, I'm also in crisis, because
Yeah.
this coronavirus is not only happening in your country,
Yes,
it's
that's
also
very
happening on my country. So let's divide, because we don't know when did this crisis end, right? So
That's
I'll send
true.
you 10,000 this month, and if next month it's still you have a this problem is still here, then I'll send you another 10, rather than you send 50,000 this month, and then you send that to that woman, and the next month you send another. So just explain, right? And you said, I'm not rich, I don't have a tree of money, right? You just gonna tell that to her, right,
Just
darling?
because, look, the fact is, just because she's asked for that money, doesn't mean that you have to give it. You
Yeah.
give to the extent that you can, and then that can be a test in itself. Maybe she's testing you to find out how much she can ask and receive. Well, maybe you should be testing her as to how long she'll stay if the price drops. That's what I would think.
Yeah, and besides, to do if he's working in some there, I'm not sure if it's legit or if it's real or not, but there are some government, some if you've been an employee, it was been what do you call that, implemented, that the employer going to pay the 1 month salary, right?
In
And
some
even in the
cases,
government, in some cases,
and then
right?
if it's lockdown, by the definition of lockdown, which is that people will stay in their houses, period.
Yeah,
Well, if
there's
they're
some
in their
government
houses, period, then they can't go out and shop, and they wouldn't have jobs, so they wouldn't have the money anyway. So the government has to commit to providing them with, well, certainly it won't be the best food. It probably will be down to rice and sardines.
Yeah,
don't you think?
and some LGU, every municipality, there is a budget. Like for example, in Manila, as we seen in some news, they already pack some food to delivered house
They've
to
got
house,
boxes of
right?
food
So
going
every
out.
barangay, they're
Yeah.
having their barangay official goes to their house and gives some food to the family, and also other organizations like
McDonald's.
ABS-CBN,
Yeah.
McDonald's partnering, those biggest organizations partnering each other to help this crisis in the Philippines.
But we
And
don't know how regular that's going to be. I mean, they've been on television and they've showed boxes, box and box and box and boxes, all with the McDonald's sign on them. But are they committing to give that every month or every week? This we don't know.
yeah, and if your girlfriend is in the province, it's there are still some work being done in the province, right? It's like, for example, if your wife is your girlfriend is working in the mall, then possible, what do you call that? Possible there's still your wife is still in duty, but in a short time because they have some, what do you call that? Short
Honey,
time.
stop asking me what do you
Short
call that.
short time job instead of 8 hours, 7 hours like that, just to shorten.
But that's going to come to an end if the statistics continue to rise. Then the panic will be even greater. Even though apparently this month, in 1 month, you can have 35,000 people can die of the ordinary flu, and here we are around 3,500.
Yeah.
And everybody's in absolute panic.
What
The
is
streets are
3,500?
actually quite deserted.
What is 3,500?
3,500
What's that?
for how many deaths there have been with coronavirus.
No, 25.
Excuse me for a moment.
25 died.
I'm talking about worldwide.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Right, we're back again.
Yeah, so again, sir, that's what we advise to you. It's up to you. It's your decision. It's your money. You're already big enough to decide if whether you're going to give or not. Have a good day.
Is that true, Mommy?
Have a good day.
Mommy
And
said
again,
you've got to
I just
decide for
want to
yourself.
give a credit to my wig, which is very, very stylish. Look at that.
Does that make you think any better, darling?
Yeah.
Well, maybe you better lend it to me.
Have a good day and God bless. Bye-bye. Stay safe, everyone.
Bye for now.